Mr. Boy, what's that on your shirt?
Oh yeah, he's my hero. Can't wait to tell you all about him in class.
Dude, his hero was Hitler. Mr. Boy, what countries did Jews come from?
I told you, don't say Jew, say Jewish people. And being Jewish is a religious classification, not an ethnic one. It doesn't matter where they come from.
I don't even know what most of those words mean.
Okay, question time is done for today. Let's move on to film studies. Now, let me start off by saying this. Hollywood is mostly full of hacks. Disney doesn't even make good movies anymore. They just want to tell us how many woke characters were in their movie. Like, oh, look at all these woke characters in Dumbo.
There were no woke characters in Dumbo.
Exactly.
Now, there's this ad that comes up in movies sometimes and tells you not to pirate films. I wanted to share the same message with you all, so I downloaded the torrent file to play it here for you. Now, as you all know, I assigned each of you a prestigious film to watch. And today, you'll tell me what film you saw and what you thought of it. So, how many of you have seen a foreign film? That's not an anime dubbed in English. Jake, you watched Fight Club. Tell us about that.
The narrator's name from Fight Club is Jack.
F. Andre, let's start with you.
The Tree of Life.
Nice. What'd you think of it?
The Tree of Life was boring and weird.
Okay. Explain why you didn't like it.
It was boring and weird.
No, that's not a valid criticism. You need to explain yourself.
I don't know. I just didn't like it.
Well, that's not going to get you a passing grade.
You like this movie, Mr. Boy?
Of course I do. It's lovely. I can fall asleep to this movie.
Because you're bored by it?
No.
Well, I fell asleep too, and that's because it was boring.
Well, I would fall asleep in a good way. It's relaxing.
You didn't actually fall asleep?
Of course not.
You know, Mr. Boy, you have to respect our opinions too.
What?
Yeah, you're telling us to be open and accept other people's opinions, but you should be doing the same to us.
You're right. You're absolutely right. I should start doing that. I'll do that now. So, what film did you watch?
12 Angry Men.
Your thoughts?
It was dumb.
Blasphemy! Why did you think it was dumb?
We don't even see if the kid gets freed or not.
Yes, we do. We know he was freed because everyone voted not guilty.
Not everybody voted.
Yes, they did. They all voted. Therefore, the boy went free.
No, they didn't show it though.
The film doesn't have to explain that. We can infer it after everyone voted.
Someone like Christopher Nolan would have explained that. Also, it was dumb because it was in black and white.
How was that dumb? All movies back then were in black and white.
I don't like black and white. It should have been in color.
They didn't have color back then.
Well, they should have.
But they didn't. Color cameras weren't invented yet. Were they just supposed to invent it?
Yeah. This movie I saw, Sunrise, A Song of Two Humans, there's a huge plot hole in it. It's a movie, not a song. Worst movie ever. 2001 A Space Odyssey is the worst movie I've ever seen.
The worst movie you've ever seen. Wow.
I don't get it. It was dumb.
You know, you guys can't just call anything you don't like dumb. Hey, Mr. Boy, did you watch Aquaman? No way, that's dumb. It's okay if you don't get it at first. You may have to watch it a couple times to get your own interpretation.
So I have to watch it until I force myself to like this movie?
No, that's not what I mean. Let's talk about the director Stanley Kubrick, who was a filmmaking genius. He's never told us the meaning of the film, and says he intended for it to be up to interpretation.
What's the point of making the movie if he didn't even know what it was about?
He had a clear idea of what he wanted to do, but the scenes are beautiful and they operate on a stream of consciousness. Like the final chapter of the film.
Nothing happened during those scenes.
You just should have relaxed and let the film take you.
I wasn't relaxed, I was bored. I'm only relaxed when I'm asleep.
Another Kubrick film. Dave, you saw Clockwork Orange. What did you think?
It was great!
Really? You liked it?
Alex was so awesome. Yeah, I thought Travis Bickle was so cool in Taxi Driver. I want to be like him.
What? No! You're missing the point. You're not supposed to look up to these characters as role models. I mean, you can sympathize with them, but they're not doing what's right.
Well, why do you like 8.5?
I relate to Guido.
But I thought you said we shouldn't relate to them.
I said we shouldn't idolize certain characters, especially if they do bad things. Guido does wrong things, so why is it okay if you relate to him? Every character has flaws, you just have to see how they're being portrayed. It all depends on the context of the film. How will we know the context? Or what the film is trying to say? You'll just know by the tone and presentation. To me, a film should never hold their character up as anything higher than simply being human. What about Iron Man? Iron Man doesn't count. That's a dumb superhero movie. Then why is it one of the highest grossing movies of the year? Because most people are dumb. I thought you said art was supposed to be for the people. For people's souls. What about the Ninja Turtles? They're not human. If you're seriously going to argue over a movie aimed at toddlers about turtles who are ninjas, then go ahead and enjoy your cash cow of a film. It's a dumb movie. He just called something he doesn't like dumb. He called people dumb too. He hates everybody because he's a Nazi. What? Well, I didn't see that coming. You're wearing a shirt of Hitler right in front of us. What? No, you morons. This isn't Hitler. He's Charlie Chaplin, the comedian, the greatest cinematic icon of all time. He just called Hitler the greatest person of all time. Guys, you're not listening. His name is Charlie Chaplin. Why does he have a Hitler stash? It's the Chaplin stash, okay? Charlie rocked this look long before Hitler did. Maybe they're the same person. Look, here's what I'll do. I'll go onto YouTube and I'll randomly shuffle different scenes from his movies. I promise you, any of these scenes I show you will prove that he's not Hitler.
Der Wiener Schnitzel mit der Lage werden und geschaukelt. Hey, der Fluten sagt der Fleppen. Und Tomenia wie ein Strapf. Und der Blitzen sagt der Klutz. Hey,
that's taken out of context.
Boo,
boo, boo. Get out of here, Nazi. And now I lost respect for my class. And I wasn't even a teacher, technically. You know, pointing out plot holes in movies is fun. There's a lot of plot holes in reality, too. Yeah, when you really look at it, real life doesn't make any sense either. Get this. Scientists used to think that flies would just magically appear from meat. That instead of flies giving birth or reproducing, they would just spawn from raw meat. Yeah, I'm not kidding. Did anybody know that? Spontaneous reproduction, they called it. The act of not giving birth, but just popping out of objects and appearing out of nowhere. Flies from meat, rats from straw, frogs from wood. And this isn't just some dumb theory that somebody had. This was common knowledge about a few hundred years ago. That if you take some hay and put it in a pile somewhere, soon rats will just magically emerge and start running around. Science, everybody! What if you just have one hay? Just one straw of hay and leave it somewhere? Will a rat still pop out? Just squeeze through the insides? Or did scientists 500 years ago not test that? Maybe I'm being a little harsh on this one. After all, no one believes it anymore. It was proven wrong by one genius who was laughed at by all the others. Yeah, I think flies reproduce the way everything else does, and you think they magically appear out of thin air. I'm such an idiot. Who's to be laughed at? There's also this BS about Pluto. Some of you remember years ago when they decided that Pluto wasn't a planet? And then maybe you heard a few years ago that they decided to call it a planet again? You know, how about we stop discriminating against the planets? Pluto can be whatever it wants to be. Does it make sense how we work all day to keep our nice houses, but we're always away working so we're never at our nice houses? Does it make sense how we work for people we don't like, at jobs we hate, to buy crap we don't need, to impress people we don't like? It's just occurred to me, why do hunters have hunting songs? Wouldn't that scare away the prey? Or at least warn the lion you're coming? Yes, we... I was taking a test, and the question was, this is never the answer. Violence... Hey... While NASA twiddles their thumb and spends millions of dollars deciding what to call big chunks of rocks in outer space, doctors come up with ridiculous disease names just to get a laugh. Swine flu, whooping cough, monkey farts, leprechaun snore, badger's tooth decay, Simon Cowell's eyebrows. Hey Jeff, get a load of these! This is hilarious! Can you see people yelling this out? Whooping cough! Look out for the whooping cough! Swine flu! Oh no, the swine flu's coming! Oh, whooping cough, that's hysterical! Swine flu. And badger's tooth decay! Badger's tooth decay! Oh, you're killing me! Killing you with swine flu! Swine flu!
Baloney.